Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are now joined by Justin Allgaier, the driver of the number 7 Brent Chevrolet. It's Dollar General Chevrolet this week for Junior Motorsports. How's it going, man?
It's good, buddy. How are you?
Doing good. I don't recognize you. You got rid of the beard there.
It's growing back. It's hard to see that it's growing back, but yeah, it was very, very interesting last few days. Last week Dollar Shave Club was on the card, and they really had no issues with me not shaving. They would have been fine with me just using it to trim the edges of my beard, which I do normally. But I felt like, let's step it up a notch, right? Let's go all in. And I went through a moment of panic. I won't lie. It's been a number of years since I've not had a beard. So I went through a moment of panic, like, okay, am I going to have tan lines? Am I going to have, who knows what's going to be under my beard, right? Is it going to look bad? All those things, you go through. And luckily, it wasn't as bad as it could be. I still don't think I look good without a beard, but, it wasn't as bad as it could be. But the biggest challenge is my wife doesn't like it. And that is a challenge. So it's probably coming back. It's probably growing back as quickly as it'll come back in.
Yeah. Speaking of family and wife, how's baby Willow doing?
Baby Willow's doing great. Obviously adding a second child to the mix has been a blessing in itself, but also a big challenge, right? I mean, there is no questioning that, kids are time consuming. There's a lot that goes into it, making sure that they're healthy and that they're doing their thing and they're safe. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment, but it's been great. She's been an absolute sweetheart. Furthermore too, my daughter Harper has knocked it out of the park, as far as being just a great big sister, super helpful to Ashley and I, and that seems to be a big help for us, big blessing. So we're managing it. Probably in hindsight, we shouldn't have waited almost 8 years to have the second one, but really, really happy with really happy with the decision we made to try and have a second one, and definitely blessed with a beautiful little girl.
Yep. All right. You're heading back to a place where you have raced before, Nashville Super Speedway. Did you think that you would ever come back to Nashville again?
Absolutely not. When we walked out of there in 2011, I guess. Yeah. 2012.
Yeah, 2011.
I was for sure that was going to be it. Right now, there was some testing that went on, and they used it for a while as some testing. But for the record, I was figuring that somebody was going to fill the place full of water, put some fish in there, and they were going to turn it into a bass fishing place, right? I mean, that's just it was, in my mind, it was gone. It was never coming back. And I'm excited to see it come back. I feel like it's a great market for us, right? It's obviously outside of Nashville, so it's probably 30-40 minutes outside of Nashville, but I do feel like that area for us is a great market, and it's not a bad racetrack. That's the thing that I think a lot of people have forgotten is it put on some really good races while we ran there. So I'm excited to see what it's like now, with the current configurations of the cars. I mean, there's a lot of difference. Back then we had big spoilers and we had big front splitters and a lot of downforce, and they were, I'm not gonna say easy to drive, but easier than they are now. And so it's going to be interesting to see how much manhandling you're gonna have to do around the racetrack with the current configuration, but it's gonna be a lot of fun.
So kind of coming into this weekend, I know you had a good run at Texas the previous weekend. How much momentum do you guys have right now after, not getting the win? Now having such a good run, what do you carry out into Nashville this week?
Well, I think, momentum in our sport is so organic. It has to kind of naturally happen, and you have to, kind of embrace it when it does happen. And I feel like, Texas was great for us. Nobody wants to run second, but we were up front. We dominated the last, couple restarts there, and ultimately just I think the multitude of restarts kind of got to us. We were a little bit on the tight side, and the cycles on tires kind of made me a little bit tighter. So I was pretty disappointed that Kyle got by me, but it's Kyle Busch. I mean, if you make a slight mistake, he's gonna pounce, and he did, and that was the difference maker for us. So, I feel like we can use that as momentum. We can take the good run that we had there. But then going back to what you said, I've been to Nashville. It's been a long time ago, and I don't remember every detail like I wish I did. But I also know that it's going to be a facility that I think having a little bit of experience is going to pay huge dividends. So I'm excited to see what happens. I know the team's excited to see, what happens when we get there. We're going to go for broke. We're going to go all out. And, the goal for me is I'm a guitar fan. I've always loved guitars. And I didn't get lucky enough to win one of those Sam Bass Gibson guitars the last time around. So, hopefully we can pull it off and get a guitar this time around.
Yeah. So I know you've been doing, I know this week, I know drivers have been doing lately a lot more, appearances in the fan zone and all that. Do you have anything scheduled with that?
Not this weekend, but it has been opening up a lot, which is great. Our fans are the lifeblood of the sport, and we've all been trying to get back and be a part of it and be back at the racetrack and be more accessible to our fans. We've done some appearances in market at the racetracks, things like that so far. This weekend obviously just didn't work out, but I'm excited to get back to that. And I know that sounds crazy. There's still a risk. I'm not downplaying that there's still risks of COVID. There's still all these things, but I feel like everybody's done a really good job of doing their part. The social distancing side of it, getting people back to the racetrack has been a huge thing for me, and it's been a lot of fun, and the atmosphere is electric. Texas was awesome. The fans there were absolutely amazing. I know Nashville is going to be great too. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like as we roll out more and more. But that's going to be something that it's definitely warranted. We need it, and it's going to be good.
A couple good tracks coming up for you. You got Pocono. We got Road America. Atlanta, where you won earlier this year, and then New Hampshire before the Olympic break. And also, there's a little bit of a transition happening in junior motorsports. Of course, this is Josh Berry's last race. Sam Mayer takes over next week. What's that going to be like, having and welcoming Sam into back to JRM, I should say? Yeah,
it is a great stretch of races for us coming up, and I'm excited about that. There's not a track on the schedule that I'm not looking forward to in these next handful of weeks. As you mentioned, kind of before the Olympic break. So, that's going to be interesting to see what happens. And then going to Sam, Josh has been a great teammate. Loved having him be part of our team and get to run. I think he's definitely built a lot on that 8 car, and they've been able to really focus in and work on their program on the 8, and they're firing on all 8 cylinders right now, right? And I've known Sam now for a number of years. Obviously, his time in junior motorsports to start with, and then kind of transitioning through. He's gone on and done some great things, outside of junior motorsports, and obviously glad to have him back and be a part of it. My biggest thing with Sam is I want Sam to go out and use the ability that he's got and not feel like the pressure is on to go win straight out of the box, right? He's plenty talented. He's gonna be the future of the sport for sure, but he's gotta go out there and make sure that you're checking off all the boxes and going out there and just getting comfortable. And I think there's a lot of people that are playing it up that, oh man, he needs to go out and really be that guy right off the bat. And I'm a firm believer that's not the case. I think he needs to go out there, get comfortable, get used to that A team, get used to the car, get acclimated, and go out there and just enjoy it. You don't get this opportunity twice, right? That first race only happens once. And so on and so forth throughout the course of the year, is he's going to get more and more experience. There's no questioning to me that next year he'll be a contender for a championship in 2022. But I just I've been on him. I want to make sure that he goes out there this year and learns what he needs to learn and understand what he needs to learn and do the best job that he can. And I have no doubt, talent wise, he's going to be right there in the mix. But I hope he can focus on just going out there and enjoying it and using his ability to the best of his nature and go having some fun with it.
All right. Justin Allgaier, thank you so much for coming on and spending a few minutes. Good luck this weekend at Nashville.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you as always. Thanks for covering the sport. Thanks for being a part of it. I know we need more good guys like you around, and we do definitely love it. So thank you very much.
No problem.